The waiting room had a way of flattening time. Hours didn't pass so much as accumulate. The overhead lights never changed. The air remained at that same indifferent temperature. Even the sounds, distant footsteps, muted conversations, the soft mechanical rhythm of hospital life, repeated with numbing consistency. 13 hours. The number itself felt abstract after a while, too large to emotionally process, too precise to ignore. I sat with my coffee growing cold beside me, my phone resting face up on the plastic chair. Every few minutes, my eyes drifted to the screen, not expecting anything specific but unable to stop checking. No messages. Not unusual at first. People had lives, workdays, responsibilities. I understood that, but understanding didn't erase the silence. Around me, the room cycled through its quiet theater. Families arriving, whispering anxiously, leaving with relief or heavier steps. Nurses offering small, practiced reassurances. The vending machine humming like a patient observer. My daughter was somewhere beyond double doors I wasn't allowed to cross. The thought arrived in waves, sharp, then dull, then sharp again. I watched a man across the room pace slowly, murmuring into his phone. A woman leaned into her partner's shoulder, eyes closed, fingers tightly interlocked. Everyone had someone. I had quiet. I told myself it didn't matter. That presence was symbolic, not practical. That surgeons didn't operate better because relatives filled waiting rooms. That emotional needs were luxuries in moments defined by medical precision. Still, my phone remained face up. Still, nothing arrived. By the time the surgeon finally appeared, exhaustion had replaced anxiety with something heavier and strangely calmer. The procedure was successful. Complications managed. Recovery uncertain but hopeful. Language carefully chosen, professionally delivered. I nodded. Asked measured questions. Absorbed information with the mechanical focus long waits tend to produce. Relief came later. Not explosive. Not cinematic. Just a slow loosening inside my chest as I sat beside my daughter's bed, listening to the soft, reassuring cadence of monitored stability. It was evening when my phone vibrated. My mother's name. I stepped into the hallway before answering. "How is she?" she asked. The concern in her voice sounded genuine. Warm, slightly breathless. "She's stable? Oh, thank God." A pause. "We didn't want to be in the way?" The sentence arrived gently, almost apologetically. "No one came because we didn't want to crowd you." I leaned against the wall, eyes drifting toward the polished floor. Crowd me. 13 hours of empty chairs. 13 hours of silence thick enough to feel physical. "I see," I said. "You understand, right?" Yes, and strangely I did, not the reasoning, but the pattern. Support, I realized, had always existed within invisible qualifiers: convenience, comfort, distance from discomfort. The days that followed blurred into hospital routine, cautious optimism, medical updates, the quiet fatigue of recovery environments. Family messages trickled in now. Concerned, supportive, safely timed. It was 3 days later when my father's text appeared. Short, direct. "We need $5,000 for your brother." I stared at the screen longer than necessary, not shocked, not angry, just aware of something settling into clarity. My daughter had been under anesthesia for 13 hours. My parents had remained respectfully distant. My brother, meanwhile, had re-entered the conversation through immediate financial urgency. The contrast felt almost mathematical. I reread the message. No inquiry about my daughter, no transitional language, just need. Just amount. My coffee sat beside me again, warm this time. I took a sip, then typed. "I sent you 1 cent. For a moment, my thumb hovered above the screen, not out of hesitation, but consideration. It wasn't cruelty I felt, nor triumph. Something quieter, more precise. "Check your Wi-Fi." I pressed send. The reply came quickly. "What? What are you talking about?" Then silence. Later that evening, my phone rang. My father's voice carried confusion sharpened by irritation. 1 cent. "Yes." "What kind of response is that?" "The proportional kind." A pause. "That's not funny." I'm not laughing, though I had smiled when typing it. Not from amusement, from recognition. "You could help your brother." I could have used my family. The words entered the space without force. Just fact. Just symmetry. That's different. Is it? Silence filled the line, heavy, uncomfortable, real. What followed was not resolution, no apologies, no dramatic declarations. Only the subtle, strained recalibration conversations tend to produce when unspoken structures become visible. Back in my daughter's room, the monitors continued their steady rhythm. Indifferent to family politics. Indifferent to human negotiations of loyalty. I sat beside her, watching the slow, reassuring rise and fall of her breathing. Victory didn't feel like the right word. Neither did revenge. Only clarity, and the strange, unsettling weight that clarity sometimes carries.